I'm Janvi and I'm back with another video. So I've been reading this book currently about the courage to be disliked. And the author talks about something really interesting where he compares the feeling of inferiority versus the inferiority complex. Well, he describes these two things as completely opposite of each other. While feeling of inferiority can motivate you into doing things that you wouldn't do otherwise and push you into becoming a better version of yourself, inferiority complex can do the exact opposite of it. It can push you away from work and keep you from doing anything at all. So let's talk about the feeling of inferiority first. It is this feeling that we get when we see someone who is at a position much better than us, who has achieved much more in life than we have. And when we look at these people, we feel inferior and we get this feeling of inferiority. Now, this feeling can actually motivate us into doing things that we wouldn't do otherwise. It can push us into becoming a better version of ourselves. If you, let us say, you see the topper of the class, and suppose the topper scored a score of 80 and you scored 40, you can tell yourself that if that person can score 80, I can do that too. And then you can motivate yourself into doing that. And even if you don't score 80, you'll still be scoring better than you would have otherwise, right? So this feeling of inferiority pushes us to becoming better and better every day, which is a good thing, which is something that motivates us, right? But on the other hand, what is inferiority complex? Inferiority complex is when instead of being motivated by that feeling, we get demotivated. We tell ourselves, oh my God, that person scored 80. I'll never be able to score as good as him. What is the point of even studying? Maybe I'm just not for this. Maybe this is not for me. And maybe just pushing ourselves away from even trying. When that happens, it becomes a complex disorder and it becomes the inferiority complex. Well, this is also something that we face as a PhD student. When we look at others around us who have so many papers published, who already have figured out their project, and all of that stuff makes us feel like we don't even know what we want to do. How am I even going to do this? Maybe I'm not supposed to be a researcher. Maybe I'm not supposed to do this. And then you might start feeling so much inferiority, and then that may lead to existential crisis, right? But what are we supposed to do in times like that? Well, we have to remind ourselves. Let us say, what if the cells in your body start thinking like that? Well, millions of cells in our body function every second. And that is what makes us alive. And what if the cells in our body starts to think like, I'm just a little tiny cell. What if I don't do work? What does it matter? And what if they stop working? Well, our bodies would collapse and we would die, right? So just like every tiny cell in our body has a function, all of us have some roles to play in this bigger society, in this community. Well, just like my father told me the other day, that an ambulance driver is just as important as a surgeon. Well, how would the patient be saved if there will be no one to take him to the hospital, right? So can we really say that doctor is better than the driver? No, right? Each and every role in our community is equally important, and we all equally matter. Similarly, in the world of science, it's not just Darwin or Edison or Einstein that matter. It's all of us. All the scientists, whether their discoveries were known or not, it all mattered. It's all linked with each other, and it's not just one person who makes that groundbreaking discovery. It's the effort of thousands of people before him that led him to that point, right? So we should never feel like our work is not important or we are not important. We all have our important, very crucial role to play in the bigger picture, and if we start thinking like that, and if we stop working because of that, the system will clearly collapse, and we don't want that. And maybe that is one of the reasons that there are so many dysfunctionality in the society and the system today, because a lot of people are not doing their job because of these inferiority complexes and existential crisis, because they don't think what they're doing is important. So we have to remind ourselves that whatever we do, it doesn't matter. Nothing is big or small. It's all important and it's all equal. And a cell in your brain is just as important as a cell in your stomach or anywhere else, right? They all are important for the body to function. Similarly, all the human beings, all the roles in the society are equally important for it to function. And so, same for the research community, scientific community. All the researches, all the discoveries are equally important. So we should never feel like we are not important or we are inferior to anyone. We should just push ourselves forward. Every time we feel like someone else is better than us, we should tell ourselves that we can also do good, as good as them, or even better. And we should push ourselves to do better and better every day and become a better version of ourselves every day. And well, yeah, that's how you get to where you want to go, and that's how you lead a happy and healthy life. So let's not get caught up into the inferiority complex, but instead use the feeling of inferiority as a motivation to push yourself forward. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up.